Ago, Austin Cindric became the first Rookie of the Year contender to win the Daytona 500. He's looking to go back-to-back, and he's with us now on this special NASCAR Race Hub. We're glad you're here. And I noticed, let me see your hands. Hold your hands out a little bit. No Daytona 500 ring. And here Larry is 25 years later, and he's got, I can't break
and it
this
still
down.
fits. How about that?
So your thoughts as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, I think it's got to be bad karma to wear it coming into the next race. You know, this year's obviously so much different than last year with the amount of data preparation we have. You know, the game is a lot different than 2022. But yeah, feeling good. I would say driving in last night on a Tuesday night. The race is obviously on Sunday. I'm thinking, okay, I'm here a few days early. You know, that's a long week. And I pull into the tunnel, and I think every camper's already here, and they've announced a sellout, and I think that gave me more perspective than I thought it would of how big this race is and what everybody's here for. They're here on a Tuesday to see who's going to win this race on Sunday, and I was that guy last year, and that was something to hit me and realize, okay, this year is going to be a little different for me as far as what this event means. You know, obviously the Daytona 500 means more to me now than it ever has. But probably what this week is going to feel like is probably going to be a little different than the last couple of years.
Well, it's maybe a good thing you got here a little early last night. There's campers all over this infield, including yours. I know how rumors can kind of float through the driver owner lot, but rumor is you got locked out, and had it not been for Harrison Burton, you probably were going to have to come up with an alternative plan. Any truth to this?
There's a lot of truth to that. Harrison Burton, without a race so far in 2023, is teammate of the year. He helped me break into my camper, so if you need braking and entering tactics, Harrison Burton is your guy. Yeah, the keys were locked in there on purpose. Long story short, pretty much had to break in and, unmounted a lot of panels, and I probably...
Have you got it back together yet?
It was enough to sleep on the bed. You know, I had to enter, from basically the utility compartment in the front of the trailer, and then go up through the bed, which the bed's on like a hinge, so it lifts up. So I'm like, okay, if I can get in there, I can push up on it. Well, I didn't have any leverage on the bed, and I was pretty much just removing panels by trying to push on it. So anyway, got to a point where I think Harrison would have eased my frustration, because I think if it was by myself, I would have started to get a little hot and heavy. But Harrison was there, had my back, and I basically picked up the whole bed, pretty much unscrewed it from the floor, and he crawled in from the side and unlocked it from the inside out. So,
have you thought about a backup plan, maybe like a spare set of keys or something like that?
Well, so there are spare keys, and I had them with me. I also didn't know that the keys were locked in, so my parents stayed in it on the Rolex 24, and it stayed here. And the keys, long story short, locked in it. I guess that was the plan. Well, the keys that I had only opened the deadbolt. It didn't open a latch on the door. So there was a great plan in place that I wasn't aware of and wasn't able to execute very well. And yeah, plan B. Speed weeks have started out great.
Hey, we always go through with drivers this time of year. What'd you do in the off season? Did you take a nice vacation? Did you race anything else? I heard you got called to jury duty. Is that right? Fill us in on the details.
This is very true, and it actually comes back to Daytona 500 2022, because I win the race, I get home, do all the media stuff, and I think Wednesday after the 500, I got sent jury summons, and I had to get help from Roger's attorney. It's like, hey, the personal hardship, I literally can't do it, but these are the days that you can do it, like pretty much November through January 15th or whatever. And Thanksgiving Day, I open up the mailbox and here are my jury summons for November through January 2nd. So anyway, so I ended up serving on a jury. It was jury number 5, and it's a criminal murder trial. It was I think it was a great life experience, because I realized that I hadn't really had any real world experience with just working with normal people. I mean, you got people from all walks of life on the jury, and but it was terrible timing because in that range of after the banquet's over in December and the holidays, that's like your time to get stuff done or relax or whatever else. And in that time, I was I guess doing my civil duty.
So Austin, the rookie stripe is off. You won the Daytona 500 last year. Is there one thing that really surprised you about running full-time in the Cup Series last year that you maybe didn't even see coming?
Well, I think it's just learning your strengths and weaknesses against the best. I mean, you got guys who've been doing this for a decade or two, and obviously I've been racing against guys who want to make it to the highest level, and that was my perspective, going into last year, is that there's no higher level than the Cup Series, and what you're going to find and learn about yourself, you can't really predict. So I think I can come into this year knowing what it takes to run at the highest level, who you have to look up to, where your strengths are weak, where are you better than some of the best guys, and being able to tack that on, all on top of learning a brand new car that nobody has any notes on or relevant experience with. So I think it was a challenge last year, but I think we have a great baseline heading into 2023.
He's Austin Cindric. He's an Xfinity Series champion. He's a Daytona 500 champion. He's jury number 5. And on Sunday, he'll try and become the 5th driver to go back-to-back in the Great American Race, getting the Harley J. Earl Trophy. Our coverage begins on FS1 Sunday.